Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Welcome back to our webinars. As we announced last week, last Thursday, today we are going to talk about security audits in organization. So our title today is about conducting comprehensive security audits in organizations. So basically talking about security audits in general about security, we actually know that it plays a vital role in organization, and basically it gives organization better security posture. It also reduces the risks and of course ensure confidence in that organization. In a nutshell, talking about the benefits of conducting security audits, so basically there are several of them, and most of them are actually basically thanks to security audits. You are able to identify vulnerabilities. You're also identified risks, reduce the risk as well. Then compliance when it comes to regulations. Of course, it comes to about data protection, about reputation of the company, and continuous improvement of procedures and processes in the company. But not to talk from my side. Let's leave this organization and let's leave the stage for security audits to our experts that are actually coming from respectful companies. And one of them is Ultravision, and Slavko Pandurov is coming actually on behalf of Motorola Solutions, and he's actually channel business managers for Ultravision and Telco products. Hello, Slavko. Thank you for joining us today.
Hello, guys. Thanks for being here.
Great, thank you very much. Florin, Marica, he is director at Ultravision Consult company from Romania. He will also talk about security audits. Hello, Florin.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you very much. A couple of words about yourself, Slavko, please.
Yes, thank you, Said. So basically, close to 2 decades in the security industry. For the last, let's say, 8 or more than 8 years in the Ultravision and Motorola Solutions group, supporting partners, channel partners, supporting end customers, consultants, designers in designing, implementing, and upgrading, of course, video security and access control systems. That would be it briefly.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Slavko. Florin, also a couple of words to introduce to our audience.
Thank you, Said. Florin, Romania based. I'm in this industry the same like the other speaker, Slavko. Back in 1999, I joined this industry. Currently, I'm running my own business as Ultravision Consult and trying to improve a bit from the competencies of our security partners and also to deliver some quality products in this market.
Great, thank you very much, Florin. Let's immediately start with the topic to talk about this one. So, Florin, in the beginning, actually, I mentioned about the benefits of conducting security audits, talking about significance of data processing and monitoring. So, could you provide us with an overview of the significance of data processing and monitoring in today's tech landscape, which is actually, if you could agree, quite complex?
Sure. If we have to think about data, today's data, it's a huge amount of information which we can collect from almost everywhere, from the small devices to a camera, from a mic to a newspaper, from open sources or from very secure sources. Today's technology helps us to process it, to archive it, and to use it for the scope which humans defines. Today's humans' capacity for data analysis is very much depending on their ability to process it, and also is depending on the scope, the need, the ability to process it, and to generate accuracy and accurate reaction based on the data we collect. We need to be precise on what we need from the technology because the technology is built here to help us this data. In a nutshell, I will just put my theory is we a lot of technology, a very advanced one for today's trends, but we need to be careful on what we collect, how we process it, and how we disseminate the data today.
Great, thank you very much, Florin. Let's start with Slavko. Slavko, in your experience, what are actually some common pain points in organizations that encounter during the pre-sales audit phase, and actually how these organizations can streamline these processes effectively?
Mm-hmm. Yes, thank you, Said. So, yeah, there are certainly more pain points, as you put it, to consider by the organization that are entering the sales audit phase, out of which I will focus on just a couple of the most demanding. Let's say, for example, one of the pain points could be defining project requirements, project tasks, and the scope. Because when focusing on video security systems, access control systems, and other, let's say, correspondent ICT solutions, organizations often struggle to clearly define their specific needs and project tasks, including various inputs like camera coverage area, analytics and AI requirements, resolution requirements, storage bandwidth capacities, out of which bandwidth is very, very sensitive and extremely, let's say, important, and also the integration with existing systems. So how they can streamline this particular pain point, I would say that they should conduct a detailed needs assessment involving also stakeholders to gather comprehensive requirements. Furthermore, today is the standard utilization of the checklists and the templates to ensure that no critical details are missed. And also they can use specialized software tools to confirm that configuration is aligned with their requirements or expectations. Another pain point is, of course, budget constraints, especially in our region, in Southeast Europe, and cost estimations. So accurately estimating the total cost of ownership for video surveillance systems includes hardware, software installations, upgrades, maintenance. All of these things can be very challenging. They can also streamline this pain point in terms of working closely with partners and also with vendors. So they can be provided with detailed costs breakdown and potential hidden costs, because we all know that one is a sales and another thing is a after sales, especially in terms of the software upgrade plans. So if these organizations implement a phased approach to procurement, if budget constraints are significant, this will allow them to be scalable in this process. So another key point or pain point, as you mentioned, could be very important, and it's about compatibility and integration issues. This organization needs to ensure that new video security systems are compatible with existing infrastructure and other security systems. That this process, integrating into another, can be a complex thing to do. So they should choose systems that adhere to open standards for first, and secondly, to ensure that they offer significant API or REST API support for integrations. Also, conducting a pilot testing is a very good thing to streamline this pain point before the full scale deployment. So all in all, let's say in these pain points, you can streamline these processes. The best thing is to pilot testing and to do proof of concept. Implement the pilot projects and POCs to validate the performance, to validate the compatibility of the proposed systems, of the proposed integrations in a real-world environment before committing to a full-scale deployment. Of course, another pain point is a very important one, and it differs from country to country in our region, especially. So I will not get into the specifics of it because it differs from each country to another country. But it's about the regulatory compliance and privacy concerns, because these organizations, the end customer organizations who are procuring security systems today, they must navigate various legal and regulatory requirements related to especially security-related systems like video security, access control, such as data protection laws, such as privacy regulations. So streamlining in this, let's say, sort of a pain point is to consult with your internal legal experts to understand the regulatory landscape, and to, of course, to implement primarily systems with strong data encryption, access controls, and privacy protections features that can ensure furthermore that compliance. So that's pretty much it.
Thank you very much, Slavko, for this answer. Florin, to you as well. Slavko, you gave us several of these points in when it comes to security audits. I would like to hear more about actually perspective of Motorola Solutions and how your company is actually looking to security audits. If you could please share with us the presentation to see what is actually new in Motorola Solutions, actually talk about Vigilant AI and VR.
You want me to share the presentation now?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Okay. Let me do it. Okay, guys, I hope you see my screen.
Yes, actually, if you can just play the presentation mode.
Yeah, sure.
Great.
So it's a brief presentation. Basically, I will present it from the point of view of pre-sales audit in procuring the security systems. And what are the technologies behind our products which are relevant to discussing these things furthermore with the customers. So just a brief info about our company in a couple of slides. Leading Fortune 500 company with close to 10 billion revenue in annual sales in 2022, with increasing in the past quarters all the way up until now 2024. Basically, we're providing integrated mission critical technology, security and safety ecosystem portfolio, which I would point out on this occasion, because also has a lot of in common with pre-sales auditing for the securities requirements. Of course, in three major let's say segments: Motorola land mobile radio communications and their correspondent command center software, and video security and access control are significant part of what we do. This is a slide that I wanted to show you, not in terms of what we can do, but in terms of what the customer can ask, or what you can ask the customer in terms of the customer requirements in this pre-sales auditing process. So on the right side, you have the complete, let's say, Motorola native business, which is obviously in the safety domain of radio, where you can find Mototurbo conventional radio, but now also you can find Wave PTX as a cloud-based radio. Of course, some Rave mobile safety like Panic Button and similar alerts solutions. Eli, which is a security platform that can integrate all of these, let's say, systems, and DMS that can work as a rooftop software management for those systems. On the left side is something that is let's say the topic of our today's conversation, where you can see that Motorola is having in this domain, of course, aside of other brands. I will be focusing today on Vigilant, so you don't see Pelco here, which is also in our Motorola Solutions umbrella portfolio or group. You will see a Vigilant Alta, which is cloud-based video security and cloud-based access control. You can see a Vigilant Unity that we will be speaking about today, and the key point in this pre-sales auditing process. So video security and access control on-prem server-based. Of course, license plate, you have it also in the Vigilant, we have it also in the Vigilant, and this correspondent solutions that can be integrated through fixed video, like body-worn cameras, visible firearm detection, concealed weapon detection, or any third-party integrations. All of this can be subject of conversation in front of the customer. If you're speaking to a bank, if you're speaking to a MOD customer, if you're speaking to a mission-critical infrastructure, industrial type of customer, there is a high chance that they are using, let's say, more of these systems, like radio, voice, video, access control. They want it all to be integrated. They maybe want, maybe don't want some analytics. They maybe want some advanced AI to enhance their safety and security operations. So if you're speaking about security audits and especially in terms of pre-sales auditing, conversation can be pretty wide. So I will show you how we can help you address these issues and address this wide topic that you have to cover through a checklist or through a conversation with a customer to meet their requirements, to meet their need in this security audit. So Motorola Solutions is an end-to-end manufacturer, manufacturing segments from all in-house. From video management software, video security cameras, video infrastructure or NVR servers, and accompanying recording and archiving portfolio. We're producing also access control, which is natively integrated and into the video surveillance with the video surveillance system. We're a producer of all the video analytics, let's say conventional trigger rule based video analytics, but also the AI algorithms within, and we support third-party integrations, which you can find on our website. But let's focus on the scope of today's meeting. So all of these, as you just saw before, the product portfolio variety that could be part of the conversation that you will be having in terms of security audit. With the customer, these are the technologies that that will for sure be topic of your conversation while you're having this security audit conversation. So customers want to use proactively, let's say, their systems. They want to have one-click incident management procedures if possible, because every customer is facing, especially today, the lack of manpower, the lack of operators, the lack of employees, etc. So we organized, let's say, our portfolio in a way that we introduced AI into every and each segment of the security systems, from the cameras to the servers, into the monitoring center. This is how today you are able to use, customers are able to use this self-learning video analytics like appearance search, like AI unusual motion detection, activity detection, facial recognition, as well as AI in the monitoring room, where AI is furthermore supporting customers' operations, which is all relevant, let's say, in this domain, discussing lowering the costs in the operation and the post-sales phase, which you will do with the quality pre-sales audit. So continuing with the technology behind, one of the key elements here is to how to deal with bandwidth scarcity. So some time ago you had VGA, SVGA resolutions in the cameras. Not so long ago, maybe 10, 14 years ago, we were in that era. Today, we are in the new era where you have a single sensor, 60 megapixel cameras, where you have multi-sensor cameras of 20, 30, 40 megapixel resolutions. So there is more and more stress on the network in each and every segment of the system. So one, let's say, one of the technology key points to address the security audit is to address the proper bandwidth calculation, the proper bandwidth configuration of the system that you are planning and designing. Every other vendor out there has this solved in a way that everybody has this smart codecs that are managing the bandwidth between the camera and the server. But to my knowledge, I have to say to my knowledge, I'm not aware that other solutions out there have this intelligent bandwidth streaming technology on the server to the client relation. And this is the relation where the most network stress is occurring. Basically, how does it work? It works in a way that server recognizes dynamically what the clients, what the operators are working on the clients. So they are providing only, and the server and the DSM can also, it's a patented technology, it doesn't cost anything. Avigilon is, by the way, one of the video security manufacturers with largest patents database. Most of these patents we are leasing to other manufacturers, but this one we are not giving to any of our, let's say, competitors to kind of say like that. But it doesn't cost anything our customers. In return, what it does, it recognizes the resolutions of your video wall or your monitor or your smartphone screen, and it fulfills that resolution, fulfills that monitor or video wall with the screen that will fulfill the maximum resolution of your monitor. When you're playing around in a certain scene or in a certain part of that scene, he's providing a full image detail that he received from the cameras for that scene, but in the background, it's fulfilling the rest of the scene in milliseconds or let's say very shortly with a full image detail, because it recognizes that you as an operator are working on that particular scene. What does this mean in real practice? We have an installation here. I will show you. It's a 56 full HD cameras. I think it's a little bit older installation. But nevertheless, I want you to comprehend the fact that we have like 112 megapixels in this scene, and we are basically spending only 16.2 megabits per second of the bandwidth. This is the HDSM on work. Guys, you know that customers have systems in which when some noise occurs during the night, one camera will spend this much bandwidth. So it's not a matter of saving, it's a matter of either you have the fully functional and proactive responsive system, or you have a system that is in a huge delays, that it's in the loop of, you know, lagging, freezing, crashing. So so that's the benefit of having the technology behind the products that can support your pre-sales auditing processes. I will not go into the camera portfolio. I will just show it here for you. We have it in various ranges in terms of speaking with the customer regarding their requirements of analytics, their requirements of AI. Our complete portfolio is equipped with let's say rule trigger based analytics, and our H5 or let's say today even H6 A cameras have the full AI spectrum available, meaning all the AI algorithms that are available that can be used to design a system that is in correspondence with the customer's expectations. Another feature, let's say point of discussing, let's say within a pre-sales audit, discussing the storage requirements. Newsflash, let's say, you know, the servers stopped being only servers a long time ago. Actually, a couple of years ago, when we introduced in the market AI NVRs. Basically, AI NVRs are of course recording devices, recording servers, but their value in this auditing processes and negotiation processes in the domain where you can bring value to the customers in terms of, today when you're speaking to a customer and auditing him for the for this pre-sales auditing process, there is a high probability that you will be speaking to a customer who already has an existing video security system, because it's a very mature market today. And AI and VR, what it does basically, it allows third-party cameras, which are non-analytics cameras and which are non-AI cameras. We allow intelligence across those cameras with this device. So basically, here is another value add-on in terms of technology that we provide in these processes of auditing a customer. Of course, another requirement has been risen up in the market in the last couple of years when we're speaking about the video security. Yes, we had for maybe a long stream of years, there was a need, or let's say there were demand for some SIM softwares, which at the end in the domain of video and access, where you are expecting system to be proactive, responsive, prompt, turned out to be not so suitable for video security systems. So in our portfolio, I guess, as in other portfolio of other video security vendors, you may found, or you may not, but in our portfolio you may found a decision management system like Orchestrate. It's called Orchestrate within Motorola Solutions, and it's ready to prepare you for a decision management process, to streamline those activities, to automate incident reports, to automate contacting contacting persons in charge, and to allow you to integrate more things in one domain. As I were mentioning, those types of customers at the beginning of the conversation, they will have a pretty how to say, high opinion of a tool, of a business tool that can integrate all of their systems that are using voice through radio, video, analytics, access control in one decision management system like Orchestrate. Just for you guys who are first time, let's say, hearing this, in order to make things a bit more graphically. So of course you have on one side, for sure, cameras and servers for the video security. You have door readers and controllers for the visual and Unity access. Video and access are integrated into one user management interface, so it's easy to use and administer. But then through a visual and Unity cloud services, you are connected to Orchestrate, as long together with let's say other portfolio of systems that customers may be using, that you may be in the need to provide a solution to integrate their systems, to make the systems more efficient, to address the issues of losing, let's say, employees, or not losing employees, but having less workforce on the market today. So Orchestrate will help in this domain, where you can action different triggers, different announcements, different acknowledgements, actions, to make all of this system work as a synergetic component. Okay, also speaking about the original, not the original access, but speaking in general about the access control solutions when you are auditing the customer for some pre-sales process of yours. Access control for a long time now has become a part of, let's say, integrated part of the video security and access sphere. That customers want to deal simultaneously from one single pane of glass, and not only to work with it, but also to administer it. So this is also thing to consider in these auditing processes. While doing that, make sure that you're offering a solution that is focused and built on an open platform that is able to integrate with other solutions out there, because as I mentioned a couple of minutes ago, in 90+% of the cases you will be faced with a customer who is already using some solution of theirs. So in today's market and in this, let's say, pre-sales auditing, if you want to avoid these pitfalls and to win, you must make sure that the solution that you're offering is actually operating on this open field hardware that is able, of course, to have all the enterprise grade features, but most importantly, to be able to avoid the rip and replace model and to use some of the existing customers' infrastructure. So the access control being part of all that is a very important key point in the overall security audit pre-sales talk. Basically, as I mentioned, I didn't want it to over stress you with different kinds of. Let me just get out of this. Different kinds of product that we have. I wanted to stay on the focus in terms of what the customer will ask you about in this pre-sales auditing process. In terms of not only products, but also security, integrations, and other, let's say, pitfalls like bandwidth management control and AI that's being used to address more than, let's say, more than security needs, but it's being used today to address security, safety, and business intelligence needs as well. So I will be here for any questions and any discussion afterwards, so we can get into the more details of these technologies that are helping the auditing process.
Slavko, thank you very much for your presentation. Quite wide portfolio that you presented to us in a short, again, as you mentioned. AI and VRs are actually something that gain my attention, but I will ask about these later after Florin's presentation, after Florin's part. Florin, if you are here actually with us, if you can just share your presentation, your part, to see what's actually new in Ultravision.
Thank you, Said. I'm just sharing my screen now. I hope that everyone can see my screen.
Yes, confirm.
Super. Good. So I will start just about a few words about the company which I'm running in Eastern Europe and Central and Eastern Europe. It's my company, Ultravision Consult. Few words about us. We have been established back in 2013 in Q4, and the first project deployment with the most advanced SIM at that time for us, it was UpVision, and it still is, was back in 2014. We have the headquarters in Bucharest, but we serve all the customers, and we run very much business on indirect business in the Central and Southeastern Europe. We have a business model working with partners, with system integrators, with installers. We try to serve them as best as we can. We support them with training, with second level support in software deployment, with some custom developments, because we have also software development in-house. And we try to attach to these competencies some of the good competencies of our partners, and to try to promote their focused technology in their target markets. Over these 10 years already, we have deployed almost 30 servers of UpVision, and I'm very proud that today's 28 out of 30 servers are still under warranty support plan, and they're still running very good at the latest version. We are ISO certificates. We have implemented an integrated quality management system back in 2016, and we try to excel in our services to our customers and end users. And as well, we prove our sustainability rating during the last report from EcoVadis. What we do System integration through a SIM platform. Probably some of you met us during the last 3 editions of Adria Security Summit. We will be again exhibiting this autumn in October in Sarajevo, and all of you, you are all welcome to our stand to see a full demo of what SIM platform can bring to you. Now, coming back to the topic about the comprehensive audits, I try to summarize what we can do in terms of an auditing process for security operations. And I start from defining what are the challenges we saw over the past 10 years in business operations, mostly in the security operations. And I split it in 3 categories. One is operational, the second is functional, and the third is InfoSec. In today's era, about the challenges and threats is always related to data and data processing. And today, modern systems are more and more IP-based. There are digital phases. A lot of digitalization processes are in place. Human are used to process all this data, but in the same time to operate the systems. I will go step by step through all of these 3 and to show you what we can do in terms of addressing challenges in security audits. First, I will start with a very basic feature of the software in the operational side. Sometimes when we integrate a lot of systems into a SIM platform, we don't do recording. So we just rely on the recorders. How in-depth is the video footage there stored? It's up to them. So we don't control this. We just rely on those data. But furthermore, in some critical situations, in audit operations, it happens that the auditing team needs to go deeper into details. And when it's about auditing or investigating a case, they don't find the data into the video recorder because it's overwritten. That's why we use another tool, which is very simple tool of taking a snapshot, and is very much correlated with an event. In the example in your screen now, it's an example from a video verification with a snapshot on access control events. So we can set the path, the file name, and where you want to store those pictures, and then it's up to you how you manage those pictures in terms of deleting or archiving or keeping or preserve it over the time. The next one in operational, what we use is a workflow process where we define very in detail what are the steps which an operator should do to process an event, is how we recommend him or impose him by mandatory actions to react on a specific trigger. This trigger can be an alarm, an intrusion alarm, or a reaction on a technical alarm. It's up to you how you configure the trigger to start with. This is an automatic graphical procedure mechanism to assist operators to follow strict procedures in case of an event. And this helps you to implement your standard operational procedures. Another tool which we really rely on is the alarm incident management. It's built specifically to collect, report, and archive. This is very useful tool for all the security operations and the security managers to help the operators to gather all together the information needed for reports. And here we talk about collecting data from an existing case or a past case. An existing case, it's an ongoing case which has been acknowledged, is in the process to be addressed. An event from the past is something which has been documented at the time of occurring, but maybe not enough. With this tool in Ultravision SIM, you can collect and gather a lot of information from pictures, snapshots, layouts with the area where the incident occurred, and then you can bring together the comments of the operator which were typed in during the event process or alarm event process. At a later stage, you can bring all together into an archive and just store it where you set it up, or you just notify after this saving the destination, like a security manager or your customer, that the incident has been documented, and that is very easy for your customer or your superior or the security managers to get into these details and to see step by step what the operator performed to clear that alarm. It has links also to the video collection, and we can address also by playing back the events during the audit process. With this said, this aggregation tool, it's meant for both supervisor and normal day-to-day operators. This tool is easy build, and we can deliver it into the local language through the user interface. There is no need to use separate tools to aggregate data and to document an event. The references and data assist operators always to take the right action. And sometimes actions of the operators, it's subjective, it's based on their experience or unexperience level. Therefore, all the typing of the data into this report sometimes is mandatory and is very much based on your standard operations procedures. Another tool we use very much into our projects to fulfill the needs of an audit or to distribute and disseminate useful data to security managers and for the supervisor in the operational category is a business intelligence dashboarding. Why we use this is just to deliver right information about history of events and to compare by history what happens the same day 1 year ago or in the same week last month, and then to deliver conformity compliance. Here we can list events like the top 10 persons with the most of access denied events in the system, or the top 10 doors where we register the most access denied events, just to check if from the conformity or the compliance point of view, everything is set properly, or to address a potential threat when someone really wants to go into a restricted area without having the access right. The last part is the statistic information for the quality of service, we call it, is very much related to the availability of the systems you have in your operations, regardless the technology which is behind. Can be the total number of days of recording, or the total number of minutes in which one camera has been off, or the total number of hours in which a recorder was not available, or a communication channel has been shut down, or the power has been shut down in one specific site. So all of these are brought together to create metrics and ultimately to deliver some key performance indicators for your contractors in maintenance. We can deliver this as a graphical information, but as well we can export it to files. On the functional part, here we came to the compliance, and audit logs is very important in our business. In the security audits, we need to rely on tracking all administrative actions which have been performed into a system, from the operator to the administrator, from the user rights allocation by administrator of the access control system down to the settings on a specific device. All these are really important to be kept securely in the system and to be accessible by responsible people to create audit logs. The last part which I will concentrate today in this speech is about information security. It's very important to have a secure platform on your premises to manage it properly and to rely on it. It's all about compliance and trust. When you have a secure platform to operate in, then your threats are minimized and the mitigation of any risk further on are easy to address. So all these factors are contributing to performance of a platform and also for a comprehensive audit in the security business. With this said, I will close here my pitch about what we can do in terms of audits, and I'm very much welcome you to address questions at the end of this session.
Florin, thank you very much for your presentation. Now, I would also like to add Slavko to our stage to join us. To both of you, thank you very much for this presentation. I'm really happy that you touched the points about security audits and what's actually the procedure, what's important to consider, and so on. A couple of questions from my side to you. Also, I encourage our audience as well to ask our presenters if they have some specific question about the product or about the topic. So, question for Slavko. So, basically, Slavko, you are someone, actually, you're a person that who is actually deeply involved in pre-sales audit and solution implementation. So, basically, could you give us some insights into the role of these AI NVRs in a modern security systems?
Yes, yes. When speaking about this AI and VRs, the practice showed us that this portfolio, the AI and VR portfolio line, is playing quite a significant role when speaking to customers from the pre-sales point of view and from the point of solution planning and implementation, meaning technology that our AI brings to the customers allows the system designs to be more agile, more flexible, and more supportive to these processes. All of this reflects, how to say, especially in terms of pre-sales audit for the customers with an existing video security systems solutions on their hands. As you may have seen from the presentation with AI and VR portfolio, we're able to provide intelligence even to old conventional cameras, which is of great value to customers. So the pre-sales audit doesn't go any further, actually, without discussing in detail this point first. Furthermore, speaking about the solution planning and implementation using the AI and VR portfolio of products, nowadays has the possibility to address significantly broader audience of customers, which wasn't the case in the past. As when we introduced AI and VR line more than, let's say, more than 3 years ago, it was exclusively reserved for larger systems. While today, after broadening this proven on the market AI and VR portfolio, we're bringing this added value even to medium and to small video security system users and organizations. So I would say the role is of significant. It's a significant role that this portfolio plays on the market today. Because as we mentioned, NVRs stopped being only recording the device for quite some time now, and the customers are looking for some value added, let's say, features or functionalities that this portfolio segment is exactly providing.
Thank you very much, Slavko. Florin, question to you. You mentioned in your presentation about the start of your business in 2014 and bringing something new to the market and so on. And you also mentioned the data and how data is actually important for each organization. So basically, how do you see the data processing evolving in the next 5 years, and what challenges actually do you anticipate?
How I see it, it's not about 5 years, it's about a time period, which can be shorter or longer. This five, it's an etalon for many discussions. I can see like this, as I said at the beginning of my speech today, out there is a huge amount of data collection and processing, and human capacity for data analysis is limited, let's face it. And today's technology is really helping us to process all this data in an effective manner and quite fast. But we go down to the security operations and we look to what really needs to address in this market. So we face we face challenges like working with human beings behind the monitors in front of us. So we need to deliver very useful content, simple and easy to use. And the ability of the operators to process info in real time or near real time is limited as well. Not because of the quality of the operator, it's just the human being processing speed. And then is every human has its own speed. The accurate reaction on incident reporting is also very important for us to create a very detailed and to document everything that happens in relationship with an incident. So all this data processing is evolving towards the technology evolution. Why? Because the technology evolution and its implementation methodology change every year. If we look to the video part, because we have a colleague speaker here today, video is the most dynamic field, and the data which the video camera can collect nowadays is it's multiple times more than what it has been 10 years ago. And also the capacity of the video to be sent, it needs a broader bandwidth. Regardless, some technologies can use a less bandwidth, some they need a full bandwidth. But in all, we reach to an endpoint, which is the human being, which needs to process all this data. We need to help this. So over the 5 years, the technology will evolve more and more in helping human to be able to take a decision. This is my view, and I will very much push for human to take action and reaction on some specific data, and the technology to help human to take a decision. That's my aim.
Florin, thank you very much. Stay on that answer. Actually, again, question for you. Talking about data processing and so on. So basically, in the realm of data processing, what are actually some common pitfalls or challenges actually that organization face, and actually how can we overcome these challenges?
I will start back from the human. And I'm very much in line with pushing and promoting competencies and education. As much education we put effort in, as much process we can do. So the human quality is very much related to the education process and the competence on a specific field. Then we need to be ready to change and evolve because technology is evolving, and we as a human being, as much older we become, we have a bit of backwards from what is the newer technology. So we have to be ready to change and evolve. Nowadays, we have to address correct assessment of specific requirements. We need to understand which are the requirements, but more than this, the one which is claiming about the requirements should be able to define the requirements. So this is very important for us. Today, we have to rely on open technologies because with the open platforms and open technologies, we can bring more value added to the end user and to the process itself. We can protect ourselves for being hacked by being open and in the same time to take the appropriate measures. Nevertheless, is a fast deployment with minimal cost of corrective measures. I note here, I'm looking to my notes, and I recall a lot of situations in my career when a new technology came into the place and the end user wants it very fast in place. It's say, yeah, an 8 megapixel camera, it's on the place. I really want it, a 4K resolution, I want it, but without taking into consideration all the rest of the aspects which needs to be addressed to get images from those camera and to be able to process it. At the end, I will come to the conclusion that all of these factors, if are well addressed in our target business, that will be okay for our end customers, for our partners, and we can overcome the pitfalls which will come if we are open enough to embrace the challenge, the change, and the evolution.
Thank you very much, Florin. Slavko, you mentioned actually about integration of AI, NVRs, and other solutions onto existing not only critical infrastructure, but basically onto existing infrastructure. So basically, in this case, actually, what are actually key challenges that organization face, and what strategies as a solution provider do you recommend for successful integration? Let's say that we are speaking about, as an example, about AI and VR onto existing infrastructures, and how to actually equip it, and what are actually challenges.
Yeah. Well, let me start off by saying that if you're asking about the AI and VRs, it eliminates the rip and replace model of procurement for customers with existing video security systems, which today is the case in almost, as I mentioned, 90% of the 90% of the times. This is allowing greater scalability without having to compromise on dancing between the budget available and the latest technology features and system solution capabilities. So the impact is also huge in lowering the TCO this way, the total cost of ownership, as well as on the fact that it allows easy transition to the latest technology features and functionality set while keeping the costs under control. In terms of AI and VR impacts to the pre-sales audit process, I would say that given into consideration that today we're doing business in a very saturated market, and as such, as I mentioned, the probability that you will have the pre-sales audit conversation with a customer that already has an existing video security system in place is pretty high. So the impact of discussing the AI and VR added value key point at the beginning of this conversation, of this pre-sales audit conversation, is very important for all the parties involved. Regarding the considerations that you asked me about the organization that should have, about the considerations that the organization should have in mind, it is also very important factor, as the system design should be done properly in terms of third-party cameras and the visual cameras combined in one platform. That the factoring in the usage of partial set or full featured set of security, safety, and business intelligence analytics is also a thing to consider for the end user organizations. And this is the point where I would take us back to the beginning of the webinar, where I spoke about the pain point of budget constraints, maybe, and cost estimation, where basically a proactive relationship with a channel partner that organization have, or even as an outreach of this channel partner with a vendor, this relationship can pretty much clear up all this smoke around the unknown elements and support the design processes seamlessly. Just to mention that in terms of addressing these considerations and these challenges, we are providing all these professional services in our region as a courtesy for our partners and for their end customers.
Thank you very much, Slavko. Florin, a question for you. So basically, considering the rapid advancement of technology, what actually are emerging trends do you see that will actually be here? Do you foresee actually shaping the future of data monitoring practices?
Talking about trends, I will stick to few principles. I want to believe that open technology is the safeguard of the future in this respect. Open standards are also very important to us to rely on it, and this both will help in shaping the future of what means really security measures. So open standards, open platforms, and then we have to look carefully on this artificial intelligence, how we can manage it and how it can manage us. That's the only thing I'm looking to it. And the last point I will highlight here is the information security. If I have to look to the modern security measures, are more and more into a logical security and information security, because there are the today biggest threats in evolution. Physical security, it's also important, is related to assets. But when we look to the people and the human beings and the belongings of the humans, information security and data security and privacy is very important. These are the factors which I'm looking into today.
Florin, thank you very much. Slavko, I would like to ask you something more about example of successful AI and VR implementation. I'm sorry, and their benefits to businesses. But before asking that question, actually, I would like to hear more from your side when it comes to implementation of security audits and so on. Do really organizations pay attention to security audits? What's actually your experience from the field in this regard?
Yes, well, basically they are. They are considering it. By the nature of, let's say, our business, we are pretty much involved with high-end organizations in terms of either government, either mission-critical infrastructure, either industry, or let's say similar correspondent industries, whereby, let's say, their own internal compliance, they must, let's say, adhere to this pre-sales auditing process, because it's not only helping them in terms of not only helping them technology-wise, it's also helping them cost-wise to better plan their costs, to involve their stakeholders, to meet the both ends, how to say, meet in the middle in terms of having the project requirements, the system, what is expected out of the system on one hand, and the budget available or budget planned on the other hand. This pre-sales auditing process is helping bringing this together, making it much more efficient and less painful for the end customer organizations. So I would say that they are adhering to these processes frequently. It's also, on the other hand, important for a system integrator who is approaching this organization to go through this process, because he wants to, of course, be familiar with what the expectations are, with what the expectations are of the system, and what the expectations are of him as a company, as a system integrator company, because he's taking over some liabilities in this process. So I would say that this pre-sales auditing process is very important for both of the parties. And when we're speaking about the challenges that these organizations are typically facing, and the strategies, as you mentioned, to solve these issues, well, more factors here are playing a key role, because one of them is, as I mentioned, we spent much time on the AI and VR portfolio, but I was also mentioning in the presentation the bandwidth scarcity capacities in terms of handling the bandwidth, especially in large deployments. So bandwidth capacity calculations are one of these key roles in terms of challenges, because they will, as I showed you, they will determine will you be driving a Ferrari or Fiat in terms of how the system will react, or on demand, or either it will be proactive and prompt, either it will be lagging, crashing, and nobody wants that. So this is where I mentioned our HDSM, high definition streaming management technology, comes in place, allowing more flexibility and more agility in how system reacts and works. Of course, there are other things that organizations are facing in terms of challenges, which I think also I already mentioned in the beginning of today's session, but it's primarily revolving around compatibility and integration issues, because more and more we are looking today not as a security system alone, not as a safety system alone. Today, when you are speaking to an end customer organization, you are contemplating on the actually you're contemplating on the security and safety ecosystem, that you should address the challenges of this ecosystem and not the system as an individual system. So this is why it's important that these organizations approach this matter with having in mind, primarily when speaking about strategies, having in mind primarily ONVIF, primarily open platform vendors, primarily vendors with easy access to robust SDK and or REST APIs support, which in this case can effectively overcome not only the implementations onto the existing infrastructure, but can also be efficient and will be efficient in integrating, as I said, with other systems and making this security and safety ecosystem working properly.
Slavko, thank you very much. Coming to Florin, Florin, can you elaborate on the role of AI and machine learning basically in optimizing data monitoring processes, and actually what benefits these two factors are bringing to security in general?
I will share my view about this. In between artificial intelligence and machine learning, there is a difference from my point of view, and we need to stick into the definition of this. It's how I see it. Machine learning is very helpful in creating algorithms to detect better, to improve your methods in addressing a specific threat. As well, artificial intelligence can be used in the same purpose, but sometimes artificial intelligence can create some automations behind. Machine learning is more used, from what I discover lately, into the detection part and is doing a great job. Artificial intelligence helps a lot in automated processes. Therefore, I see very much benefit nowadays in a short term for machine learning methodologies, and as well artificial intelligence if is correctly deployed. In our security industry, and especially in the physical security industry, artificial intelligence can be a real benefit for these automations behind the scene, and to help human either to collect the data, either to process data, either to be able to take the right decision. I will stop artificial intelligence in having a decision in security aspects, in the security procedure, but I will encourage using the artificial intelligence algorithm in creating more automations and to help human to be more efficient. With this said, I think that we covered both methodologies and technologies nowadays. How this can be optimized in the future is very much depending on the human. It's very much about what we want to achieve in terms of technology, processes, and efficiency. I will always be a supporter of efficiency, and always I'm looking for methods to increase the operational efficiency and to be more accurate in what we deliver.
Florin, thank you very much. Actually, we are coming to the end, and now I would like actually to hear some kind of final words from your side when it comes to actually security audits as a, let's say, as a key points for our audience. What would you like actually to highlight when it comes to security audits, when it comes to the security in general within the organization? Slavko, please.
When it comes to security audits, in general, as I mentioned, a lot of things should be considered to do this very important job properly. So basically, a good thing to start is, as we mentioned on the beginning, some pain points of the customer, but also the evaluation of what the customer is using from the systems and how to integrate all systems into one, let's say, functioning whole. In this regard, I would say that the most important things are defining the project requirements properly, to take some time and spend some time on this, defining precisely the project tasks and the scope, because this will help all the parties involved to address the challenges on a proper way, with a proper technology, and with a proper portfolio that can support all of the things that are expected. Of course, alongside with this is, as I would say, I'm always getting back to it, budget constraints and cost estimations, as we are working very successfully, even in, let's say, price-sensitive markets, and it's exactly because of the fact that we are not focusing on the price itself, but we are focusing on the value that we are adding to the customers. So sometimes the total cost of ownership can prove the customer that the investment in open platform technology that can bring intelligence across their sites, even to the conventional equipment that they are using, that natively doesn't support that kind of intelligence, is a value that's unique and that's over the time is lowering the TCO and upscaling the productivity and the efficiency in all of the domains that these systems are reaching, mainly security, safety, and business intelligence. Of course, there are some other, let's say, things to consider as important, as I mentioned, compatibility, integration, regulatory compliance, privacy concerns. But for the people who are on this call, they are pretty much aware that it's a broad spectrum of the topics that should be consisted in this let's say, pre-sales audit activity.
Thank you very much, Slavko. Florin, would you like to say some final words for our audience as a key points?
I will conclude today's session with some thoughts about why we need an audit and what is an audit actually, and what means a security audit in our operations. And looking to what is an audit, which is an examination what has been performed by someone, by a third party which was not involved in that process, I would say that we need an audit just next time to do it better. How can we do it better next time is just to have a correct assessment about an audit. So I will add in your future notes and your future topics to debate also the right assessment in the security operations. That's my conclusion for today.
Thank you very much, Florin. Thank you, Slavko. Actually, thank you to all of you who actually participated in this webinar as audience, as a participants. I hope actually that you brought some key points for you, that you actually gathered valuable information from our presenters. And of course, if you have some more questions, feel free to reach Florin and Slavko. Not only doesn't matter is it about sales, is it about products, but also about advice as well. So thank you very much, and see you soon again with our webinars.
Thank you, Said.